Hello, good morning. You're welcome to Strength to Lead, which is a platform which comes your way every Monday to strengthen your hands in leadership and to empower you for the great things that God is doing with you. As I have always said on this platform, when we talk about leadership, most people are into leadership and they don't even know it. If you're a parent, you're a leader because you are leading your children at home. You could be a leader at the workplace. You could be a leader as a firefighter. You could be a leader as a teacher, as a lecturer, as a doctor, as a lawyer, as an accountant. Sometimes you could actually even be a leader amongst your siblings for the fact that you are the eldest amongst your siblings and maybe the oldest in your family. But the point about leadership is all about having a followership and having influence over the followership to move them to a certain place that you have envisioned you want to get them to. Once again, this is Strength to Lead, and I am Dr. Bernard Appiah. This morning, I'll be sharing with you on Jesus's principles of increasing productivity. What Jesus did and how some of the things he taught and what he did that actually helped him to be able to accomplish his mission in life. And there are five simple principles that I would like to briefly share with you within this short period of time. The first one has to do with investing in tools to effectively lead and deliver on your responsibilities. If you are into any form of leadership, you would understand that at some point in your leadership, you need an investment into yourself, because you see, you cannot draw from what you don't have. So you can only give what you have. And so you want to be able to build yourself, invest into yourself so that you can be in a position to always give out and to lead effectively. You see, the other flip side of it is that Jesus Christ went into investing in people. But before he could invest in people, he had already invested in himself. And he was doing that on a daily basis. I mean, if you read the book of Luke, you find out that the Bible makes it quite clear that Jesus, when he was 12 years old, went under tutelage in order for him to be able to build himself up to accomplish the mission for which God sent him to the earth. And so it is very important for us to be able to even invest in people, pass on to people that which we have learned over time through our experiences, through our knowledge, and through the information and the revelation that God might have given to us, given us the privilege to have. We need to first of all make the time to invest in ourselves. And that was not the only time Jesus invested in himself. He invested in prayer as well. He spent time earlier in the day and withdrew from everyone and went into communion with his God. And so I want to encourage you this morning that for those of us who are in leadership, for those of you who are in leadership, you want to continue to be effective. It is very important that you keep on investing in yourself. Buy materials that you could read, you could learn from, you could listen, that would sharpen your skills better and make you more effective at what you do. You can attend training sessions, and in these days with technology and with the media, there is a lot that you can get from your sitting room. There is a lot that you can get from your bed. There is a lot that you can sit at home and get from the internet. And so I want to encourage you to be effective. Jesus himself did it. He invested in himself. He spent time, as you read Luke chapter 2, that from the age of 12 to about the age of 30, he was under tutelage, learning, empowering, building himself up to be able to effectively deliver on his assignment on earth. You can do the same. You can be very effective. You can be a man and a woman of great influence to lead people to where they ought to be. And you can also invest in people in turn after you have built yourself and invested in yourself. The second point is to avoid long unnecessary meetings and unnecessary engagements. Now you see, some meetings may have a greater impact on the output of your leadership or the output of who you lead and how you go about it. But it's not in all circumstances and situations, because some of them are designed to sap your strength and to draw from you that which will be needed another day for a much more important and essential responsibility elsewhere. Jesus, the Bible says that at some times will retreat from the crowd and even sit in a boat and cross over to the other side of the land. There are other times that he retreats to the mountains. And it was not because he didn't want people, but he understood priorities. He understood the fact that there comes a time where you have to withdraw from the people, from unnecessary engagements, unnecessary long meetings that saps your strength and takes away from you and doesn't enable you to become as effective as you could be. But because you see, you cannot operate at your fullest level when you are burnt out, when you are stressed, when you are overstretched. At some point, you need to be able to decide and say that enough is enough. This is about time I retreat, build myself up, prepare myself, and be able to go out there and continue to deliver the top performance that I am used to delivering. And so it is important for you to be an effective leader and be able to increase your own productivity. You must learn to avoid long unnecessary meetings that draws out strength from you, that does not build up and contribute to the delivery of the top performing output that you are looking for. Number 3 is that get to know the people you lead. This is an excellent way of becoming an effective leader. You see, as a leader, once you know the strengths and the weaknesses of your people, you know them on the level of empathy, or as people would say, on the level of emotional intelligence. You know what it is that those on your team can deliver and can't deliver, so that when there are emergencies or there are even job roles to be given, responsibilities to be given to your team to carry out, or whether even you are a parent, you know who to give responsibilities to amongst your children. You are able to know who is effective, who is not effective, and who will perform better under these given circumstances and situations. And Jesus Christ did the same. At some point, he will send out the 12 to go out there and do some work on his behalf. At some other times, he will send the 70. At some other times, he sends the 120. So he understood, he knew exactly the people that he was with, the members of his team. He understood their strengths, their weaknesses, their interests, what it is that they could do effectively to augment his own efforts and his own responsibilities. And by so doing, he increased his own effectiveness in carrying out his responsibilities. And even beyond that, he was able to input into these people in order for them to continue his legacy when he was long gone. Number 4, effective communication. Very important. There are times that Jesus taught and did things that his disciples didn't understand. And when they did not understand, when they have retreated from the public, and they were in private, they will come and say, Master, what exactly went on? Because we didn't understand this that you said. We didn't understand that you said. And Jesus will take his time to unpack his ideas, his principles, his information to them in order to enrich their level of understanding and for them to mature in knowledge and information. And so it is very important that as a leader at every point in time, communication is transparent, communication is clear, communication is precise and straight to the point, so that those that follow, those that are supposed to make something out of that pieces of information that you put out there, can be carried out effectively and get a kind of output and the performance that you are looking for as a leader. And so effective communication is very important. It's often said that communication is only complete when that which is intended with the use of that information is complete. What I mean is that communication is only effective when that which was intended in the process of moving information from one point to the other reaches the other point and achieves the goal and the purpose for which that information was passed on. And so you have to understand that sometimes it is not what we think that people understand we mean. And because it is often said that meanings are in people. And what that simply means is that because of people's own experiences in life, their own level of understanding and knowledge, you could say one thing and they would understand it the other way. And so communication cannot be effective and it's not complete until that which you intended to achieve with the movement of that information from yourself to the other person has achieved that purpose. It's not just hearing words pieced together, but the action that actually follows the words that are pieced together is the only measure of successful and effective communication. And Jesus did that effectively by taking his time to unpack and clarify situations and circumstances and even things that he has said in public that they didn't understand, so that he can help them to grow and mature to be able to fulfill their agenda and their mission on earth. The last point which I leave you with today is the reduction of waste of all forms. If you want to be an effective leader, if you want to be able to increase your productivity, then you need to be able to reduce waste in your life and in your leadership in order for you to be able to perform at the very top. Now, what do I mean? If you look at a company like Toyota, you realize that Toyota developed a system of total quality management, and there was a reason for it. The reason was to cut down waste and to be able to increase the level of productivity and profitability. And now Toyota is a global brand. And the reason why they have, even in 2009, when they faced one of the major crises where there were failures in the vehicles they produced, they are breaking ABS systems and all that, they have been able to recover. And the reason is that they have a system that reduces waste and eliminates waste where they can within the production systems in order for them to be able to produce cars of high quality and sell them at prices where they make very good profits on them. Equally, when it comes to leadership, we need to be able to come to that point to understand that reducing waste, whether it's wasting of your time, whether it's wasting of information, whether it's wasting of your knowledge, whether it's wasting of your experiences, we need to be able to understand places in our lives where we can be better appreciated. The information, the knowledge, and the experiences that we have can be put to better use in order for us to be able to effectively affect those that we come into contact with in the process of expressing our leadership. I want you to know this morning one thing for sure, that above all else, you can perform at the very top. You can do great things in your life, in your leadership, whether you are at home, as a parent, whether you are a teacher who leads pupils at school, whether you are a lecturer, a tutor, or whatever your role and your responsibilities are as a leader, wherever you find yourself, there is greatness beckoning. If only you can try as much as possible to increase your level of productivity with these 5 points that I've given this morning. First of all, to invest in tools that effectively lead and deliver on your promises. 2, to avoid long meetings and unnecessary engagements. 3, to get to know the people that you lead. And 4, to have effective communication. And 5, to reduce waste of all forms in your expressions of leadership. Thank you so much for spending this brief time with me this morning. And once again, this is Strength to Lead, and it's a platform where we strengthen the hands of leaders to be effective and perform at the very top of their game. Thank you so much, and my name is Dr. Bernard Appiah. God bless you and have a wonderful time and stay safe. I'm going to see you again next week. God bless you and bye-bye.